Hi everyone, mega shout out to you. Angel Corner TV, mega shout out to you. How are you? So glad to have you here. Thank you very much for coming. Jennifer Jackson TV, mega shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Please, if you want to share me out, please do, please do, please do. This is a special um, series that I'm going to be having this period, you know. Thank you so much for coming in. We are featuring live on Facebook right now and also featuring live on YouTube. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has come. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much. Hello, MGOFWKSA. Thank you so much. So glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much. How are you? How are you? So glad to have you here. Thank you so much for coming in. Nice to have you here. Jennifer Jackson TV, mega shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming. Angel Corner TV, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. MGOFWKSA, how are you? How are you? You know, one thing about what we are doing right now, or what this series that I'm having, is to find a way to encourage people to get into jobs. Now, let me tell you a little bit about CV Coach. CV Coach started in as a body. We started in 2015. So what happened was that I went for an event, and I was going to speak on CV production. KJ Kerwell, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I've not seen you for a while. How are you? Compliments of the season. You know, sorry. Compliments of the season. So glad to have you here. So that was how CV Coach started. Started about 2015. I was invited to an event of about, I think about 500 people or more, and they wanted me to speak on CV writing, and I did. So after telling the people, thank you so much, so glad to have you here. So after speaking to the people about CV writing, and that was how we started CV Coach. Then it was CV Coach, sorry, it started in 2016. It was CV Coach 2016. That was how we started. But with time, I had to now change it to CV Coach 216 because 2016 was looking as if it was too old, or it was like 216. But we've got a website, and that's what we do. So started off in UK, and since 2016, we've been able to train over 500 people, close to 1,000 people so far. And what we do is this, this is a side hustle for me. And what's your IG? Oh, Instagram, CV Coach. CV Coach. That's, yeah, CV Coach, yeah, 216. So if you just go to CV Coach 216, you'll see the banner that I posted out. So what I do is that when people come into UK and we can quickly get hold of them as they come into UK, we help them get jobs. So some of the people that I train, some of them have gotten jobs. They some of them came in from overseas, came from Nigeria, from India. They come in, and they, instead of going straight into like working, like cleaning and all those kind of menial jobs, which I'm not against because everybody did it somehow. I did it too. There was a time I had to go, not like cleaning, but I had to like, do some menial jobs to get myself to this level. I did. And that was how CV Coach started. So right now, what I'm doing is that when these people are coming in, some of them will have that background knowledge, or some of them have gone to school in Nigeria or Africa or in India or in South Africa. But the issue is that they can't get jobs when they come into UK without experience. So my company, some of my other people who are working with me, I've got clients, people who are working with me virtually, and some people are working with me physically. We bring them in, we give them the practical experience, then give them into a job, put them into a job. So what we do is this: when we get somebody, we give them the practical experience, work on their CV, and then they work with us. So then get that practical experience that they need, and then they start earning. We've been able to put people into good jobs. I think there's a testimonial that I'm going to share here. You know, one of our students got a job just 6 weeks ago. Another one got a job, and he came into UK. He didn't even know what to do. He's gone to school, he's read his masters and everything, but no experience. We were able to train him and give him a job. About 3 months back, he was thinking of buying himself a house in UK. So that's to show you how much we are doing. My website is www.cvcoach2016.co.uk. I can put a banner there. You can just go there. We've got quite a lot of books there that you can download. You know, we're working on the website to make it far better too, but you can just go there. It's www.cvcoach2016.co.uk. We've got a database of companies in case, you know, someone says, you know what, I want to come to UK. I want to get involved in getting a job in UK. We've got a full book of database companies that you can download and then call them and see if they can work, if they will accept you, so you can come in with a work visa into UK. So we've got a database of them, and we try to update it every year. So the one we have there was like 2 years ago. We got another one last year that came in. So all you need to do is send me an email, you know, and I'll get back to you. My email address is og@cvcoach.co.uk. That's it. So what we are doing now is that we are focusing on seeing how we can secure jobs for people in these industries. There are lots of industries. Thank you so much, Rosie's Kitchen. There are lots of industries that you can get into. You see, when people come into UK and we tell them that you can earn a salary of at least 50, 60, 70, 80,000 pounds, it's so strange to them. Like, what are you saying? That's a lot of money, but it's possible. Very, very much possible. You can upscale yourself from a salary of about 20 to like 40,000 pounds. I've seen somebody who was on a salary of about £7.50, I think an hour or a day, an hour, and he went from £7.50 to a salary of over 30,000 pounds, and within a period of about 2 years, he went straight to 45,000 pounds. Is very, very possible. Very, very possible. But you need to upscale yourself. You need to get into, you see, the thing about life is that the person that you meet on your way to the top will determine how far you will go. You know, I can repeat that again. The person that you will meet on your way to the top will determine how far you will go. So in this channel, I'm going to be bringing lots of people to come in and speak to us generally of why should you go into an industry? Why should you do a kind of job? What is in it? You know, how do you get in it? So that's what we are doing today. And I'm bringing an expert for the next 2-3 weeks. I'm bringing an expert next week. I'm going to be bringing in, I think I'll bring in a coach who will be talking about stress and how you can manage stress, you know. Then 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time, 2 weeks time, I'm bringing in a consultant from USA, you know, so you're going to be hearing him too. And then in 3 weeks time, I'm bringing in a nurse, nurse specialist, community nurse in UK. And so we are loaded for the next 1 year or more. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe, tell your friends about it. It is happening here. And anything is possible. I can tell you, anything is possible. We've been able to work with people both in UK, Africa, India, in working on their CV and then boosting their profile. You see, the way it works is this, you know, with CV Coach, we have two main perspectives or two main scope. You know, two main scope that we are going in for. Now, not everybody, thank you very much, Jennifer Jackson, not everybody can get into a business. Not everyone can get into a business, but there are some that might need to get into a very good job for them to move on to that place where they need to go. If you're earning some little money, you might not really feel it because you might feel that, well, okay, well, the money you're earning is more than what you were earning before. But I can tell you something, when you're earning so much money, especially when you've climbed up to that ladder where you are earning like in the a six-figure salary. I'm talking about 120,000 to 130 to 150,000 pounds a year. You will you are just going to start. You'll be happy with yourself. I can tell you, you'll be able to meet your needs. You'll be able to meet things. You'll be able to work things out. That's the thing. So it's important that you set yourself up from now to where you want to go. I did a video about a year ago for people who are in overseas, someone who is in Nigeria, for instance. I did a video for them on how you can come into like a place like UK and quickly get into the industry that you want to get to. You don't have to go into job. Not everybody was not signed out for job, and everybody was not signed out for business. Some people do business and they do it well. Some people go into business and then they just make a havoc of the whole thing. But what I'm trying to say is this: try as much as possible to be the best of you. Try as much as possible to be the best of you. And I feel that YouTube is one big avenue where you can be anything that you want to be, and I want us to take advantage of it. So the thing you're going to gain subscribing to CV Coach is that not only are you going to improve with in your personal life, but you're going to improve also in your financial life, and also in your spiritual life too. Because if you listen to my video that I did last week during the Valentine period, you find that I had to use the Bible, I had to use scripture to explain marriage and the essence of marriage. So we are not just a channel just in YouTube, just because we're in YouTube. No, we were already functioning before we even came into YouTube. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this: you've got to position yourself in a place of advantage so that you can get what you want. Now, when it rains, it's not everybody it rains on. There are some people who will stay in the shade, but the one who wants the rain is the one that comes outside, let the shower fall on them, So you're the one to decide where you want to go, And I was going to bring in somebody sometime last year to this channel who came into UK, and I was going to tell him to tell you how he came in. Sometimes people just think, okay, how do I come in? It's so difficult. How do I make it? It's not as difficult as you think. If you meet the right people, not swindlers, not fraudsters, the right people who will tell you how to go through the process, you can just come in and then start off your life. No matter where you want to go, whether you want to go to US, you want to go to Canada, it doesn't matter where. It's the same process, But what I'm trying to tell you is this: you've got to set yourself up very well. You've got to know where you're going. You've got to make up your mind, to say, okay, well, this is what I want to achieve at this time. So what we do in CV Coach is side hustle. It's not like this is not my main job. No, I've got a career, I've got a job, I've got things I'm doing, but this is a side hustle for me. And Jim Rohn said something, he said, you work so much to the extent where your side hustle can be almost getting you almost the same amount as your salary. I'm paraphrasing it. That wasn't exactly how I put it. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: I don't know what you're doing. I don't know your reason for coming into YouTube. But the main thing is this: you've got to set yourself up. You've got to make up your mind that, what, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be the best of me. I'm going to get everything that I need. So I want to welcome you once again to this channel. And that's how we do it. That's how we started. That's where we started from. And we are still running and running very strong. Very, very strong. Now, right now in UK, we have the training firm where we train people. We have a recruitment agency where we recruit people into jobs, So, yeah, so if you want to become a part of it, that's the website there. Go to our website, fill in the the form. There's a form, the contact us form, and then we'll get in contact with you. So we can put you on our database and then inform you of things that is going on. But I want to assure you of something. Make sure you come in for the next few weeks. Next week, we're going to be here again, 6 p.m. is a time where everybody can relax, and then we'll just come in and start off what we need to start off. So I'm going to be bringing in the expert very soon. Yeah, you can. It's all dependent on how you want to come in, how you want to get the right people. You see, the world has become a little world. It has become a small world. It has become a world of network. We can network anyone. We can all meet together. We can all come together. That's how it works. I know. Yeah. I know. Sometimes you see. I, I know. Yeah, and in essence, you're the one that will be. You're the one that will decide how you're going to go. The country is so hard. I know that for some people, yeah. You know, but the thing is this: just get the right link, and then begin from where you are, and then position yourself to go to where you want to go, how you want to achieve what you want to achieve. That's just the way I see things, because we've all been there. We've all been in that place where it looks as if things are not just going the way you want it to be, things are not just working out. But if you set yourself up and say, okay, well, this is how I'm going to go, this is where I'm going to go, this is how I'm going to get to where I want to get to, you will get there. You will definitely get there. Sometimes things might look as if, it's not just working out, but just make up your mind that, this is it, this I'm going to get there and I'm going to make it. That's the focus. That's always the focus. But it's good, for you to meet the right people. Very, very important that you meet the right people. On your way to the top, meet the right people. Whatever you're doing, meet the right people. Very, very important. Because, when you meet the right people, it's always good. Happy Sunday, everyone. Queen Daisy TV, mega shout out to you. Thank you so much. Jennifer Jackson TV. Yeah, fill out the contact form on the website. That's our website there. And I will get in contact with you. There are some things that we need to talk about. I can give you as much information as we can. And then you will now decide how you're going to go about the information that you will receive. But I believe there's nothing that is not possible. If you look at my banner, it says anything is possible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Queen Daisy TV, thank you so much. I am glad to see you here. So glad to see you here. So glad to see you here. How are you? How are you getting on? How are you getting on? Yeah, we're going to be bringing in an expert today. I'm going to bring him in soon, to discuss about why you should not be a software engineer. He works in UK, and he works as a software engineer, but the thing about it is this, the way UK works. No, well, Inspirational by Marie. Thank you so much for coming in. So glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much. The way most I don't know, I've not really traveled that much. I've been to other Asia countries. Good evening, Inspirational by Marie. So glad to have you here. Thank you so much. So glad to have you here. So that's how we work. You see, when most Africans or ethnic minority come into UK, the thing they mostly do is just settle for any job. Now, the reason why they settle for any job is because when they see the money that they were receiving in their country before they came in here and compare it to what they are receiving here, it's much higher. Exchange rate is higher, everything is higher. But that's not the case, because sometimes I always tell people something. The people doing the top job, they're getting the 6-figure salary. They don't have two heads. You might think, oh, but come on now, how will it be? It's possible. They don't have two heads. It's just that they were determined to get to where they want to get to. And because of that determination, that's how they were able to work on themselves to get to where they want to get to. But you see, the thing about it is this: with CV Coach, you know, not everybody is cut out for job. I told that you that before. Not everybody is cut out for job. Some people are cut out for business, and they are really good with business. With me, I started out with a job, but I have a side hustle. CV Coach is my side hustle. So what I work on is this: I try as much as possible to do the sales. If you've not listened to my video on how to sell anything to anyone at any price, at anywhere, try and listen to it. It's really good. You will get a lot from it. You know, so what I do is that I come into YouTube, do my sales, take my clients, train them. So the thing that brings me joy is when I'm taking somebody out of a job of about, because it's in UK, out of a job of about maybe £7, 50, £10, £15 to a job of about maybe 45, 50,000 pounds. You know, it makes me really happy. Some of them will say, how possible would that be? I don't have this experience. Then I tell them, you know what? If you stay in 2020 without experience, and or you get into a job in 2020 and then work your way to get the experience, by 2021, you will have the experience you need. So in CV Coach, what we usually do is to find a way to make sure that we can work with you to achieve what you want to achieve. That's our main focus in CV Coach, you know. So yeah, he said, but the standard of living is higher too. So a straight currency conversion is not really correct. Yeah, because the thing about it is that the standard of living here is higher than back home. But the thing about it is, if you can get into a good job or get a side hustle and be working and doing your job at the same time, you will go far. You will go far. You see, when I came in here, the mentality I had was this. I found that back home, we don't pay council tax. Nobody comes to my house to ask for council tax. Sometimes you just pay the bill, the water bill, you pay the light bill. Even at that, there's no light, but we don't mind. But over here, medical, uh, everything is being done for you. The treatment, the council tax, you have to pay your water bill, you have to pay your light bill, your phone bill. You see, you put that in, and I began to think about it. I said, if one way that the money comes in is through your salary, but by the time you start paying so many things out, it's like the money that you got is now going out to different avenues. I said, okay, what about if you start a side hustle? What about if you start something like maybe train, like what we do on YouTube is that we are training people. Because if I come into a channel where somebody's cooking food, for instance, and I'm thinking, I'm watching them, I can make the food. But the thing about it is I'm giving out my skill. YouTube is advertising on my channel, but I'm not being really paid that much. Imagine if I have a school where I'm training people to become chef. That's what I want you to begin to think about. What about if I have a school like Inspirational by Marina? What about if I have a school where I can coach people? I remember when I was coaching people then, you know, coach people. I work with them 1 hour. I was charging like £50 an hour, which was because then I was still training as a coach. You know, imagine like training people 1 hour for £1,000, and you have about maybe 4 or 5 clients. So in just that day, you make about £5,000. But you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. So that's the focus. That's how we started CV Coach. You know, like I told you, you know, that's how we started CV Coach. I'm going to make this video a shorter version so that people can, you can listen to it over and over. I started CV Coach with nothing less than 500 people and just training them for free. And that was how people came in. I started saying, no, why don't you help me work on my CV? Can you help me get a job? Can you train me? And that period, it just started. But by the grace of God, March last year, I usually do physical training, but March last year, the government put a stop in UK to everybody going out for some time because of the COVID-19. And then I went online. And that was why I started another business, you know, online, which you can see is www.asonstraining.co.uk. So that was how I started that. So while CV coach was going on, I went to start ASON's training. You know, the reason why I started ASON's training. Oh, and CK Media, thank you so much for coming here. Yes, inspirational Marie, side hustle is the way to go. It is the way to go. CK Media, thank you so much for coming here. Yes, inspirational by Marie. Side hustle is the way to go. It is the way to go. You know, oh, sorry about that. You know, it is the way to go because once you have a side hustle, man, the good thing about it is this, you know, sometimes when I show people my pay slip and then show them how much tax I'm paying, it is so high. My tax is so big. Yeah, sorry about inspirational Marie. I was on mute because the guest is coming in. So I was with him on the phone. My sincere apology. My tax is so high, you know, that sometimes the only way that you can really get into that place, CK Media, mega shout out to you. Thank you so much. Acknowledge you here. The only way that you can really get in is by having a side hustle. You know, it just have to happen. I don't know if you've listened to my other videos on how you can make £1,000 a day. I took out some group of people a week and I told them, you know what, you can make £1,000. And they said, no, but how am I going to do it? How is it going to happen? I said, you can. If you can budget £300, I'll take you to a place where you're going to buy some products and put them online. And I'll teach you everything about how you're going to put it online and make some money. They couldn't really make £1,000, but they made at least a profit of over £400, including their 300, £350. Because the thing about it is this, there is that law of demand. There's that demand going on. When you go into a YouTube channel, hey, yeah, Donald King is here, you know. So when you go into a YouTube channel, um, hold on, please. You go into a YouTube channel, what what you're really doing is that you are selling things to somebody. You're selling things to somebody, you know. So, but it depends on how you sell. That's why you have to learn the art of sale. Very important. Once you know that art of sale, you're in. So we're going to go straight right now. I'm going to take off my website from the screen, but that's my website where I train people. Because of the COVID-19, I started training different people from that website. But the other website is where I deal with CV, people's CV, that's CV coach there, where I deal with different CVs and talk to different people, try to put them into jobs, see how I can help them, how I can support them. But the good thing is this, you know, anything is possible. So I've got Donald King here today, and we are going straight to the topic of today. Next week, I've got another coach coming in who's going to be talking about stress, you know, how you can manage stress. And then 2 weeks time, I'm bringing a nurse in to show how you can get in. But Donald King is here now. Please, Donald King, you can use the link. Why shouldn't I be a software developer? Hello, Donald King.
Hello, CV coach.
So glad to have you here. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you very, very, very much. So we just go straight in. Yeah. So tell us. So I'll put the questions there, and then you go in and tell us. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Thanks, CV coach. Well, like you know me, I'm Donald King. Professionally, I'm a software developer slash entrepreneur. I've been in the industry for over 10 years now.
Wow.
And since then, I've gone on to work for different kind of companies. I mean, from financial services to government agencies to medical, biotech, and just name it. And I've
Wow.
also as well got my own company as well, which I run, which I execute other projects in as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it about me professionally.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm so glad to have you here, honestly,
Thank
because
you.
it's such an honor having you here. But you see, like the title of the for today's topic is why you should not be a software engineer.
That's definitely a clickbait. I believe that.
Why you should not be a software engineer. you know, one of the reasons why I brought you here was that when I saw you about 3 years back, that's something 2017, we met, in the train, we're talking, and you told me about computer science, and I was able to encourage my son, and he just said, this is what I want to do in the university. I know quite well that there will be somebody out there who's going to get something from what we are going to discuss today.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go straight in. Let's find out what is the difference between a software engineer and a programmer.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Now, this is one question where a lot of people who are not really into software sometimes they sort of misunderstand what the terminology means per se. Now, engineering, like has a broader meaning, right? There are mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and so on and so on. Right now, when it comes to software, because it's an intangible thing which you don't see, sometimes when you say you're a software engineer, to the average person who really doesn't understand what you're talking about, they can't figure out, okay, you're an engineer, but you can't touch the software. What are you doing, right? Now, software engineer mainly, a software engineer mainly oversees the end-to-end delivery of a project, of a software development project. For example, from the inception to the feasibility study, if what you want to do is actually, if it's possible, we have the tools to even deliver that, first of all, and also the architecture of it as well, how to design the multiple layers from the front end, the middleware, the back end, and so on and so on. Everything that's going to connect and talk to each other, because a software is not just an isolated, intangible thing. It is a combination of multiple systems talking together, which gives you the desired output. So a software engineer, sometimes you could classify them as under the a category of a solution architect as well, because they plan everything from start to finish, how the architectural design is going to look to the delivery of it. Whereas the program itself is sometimes a programmer could also function as a software engineer, but there's a limit to that. A programmer mainly focuses on one or more aspects of the software project itself. For example, you could have a software which has a front end, which is going to be programmed in a specific language. Then you need to get programmers who understand that language, who know how to write code in that language, who understand the algorithm in that language for them to deliver what they need to do. Really, yeah. So that's where the major difference is. Yeah.
Oh my God, it must be a very interesting job then. because because you've answered the next question. I was going to say, explain to us what you do as a software engineer.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah. So my role as a software engineer actually it involves a lot actually, not just planning the entire delivery, but also as well managing a team of programmers as well for different parts of the project. For example, I lead a team of front end, middleware, and back end. Right, so they report to myself and another colleague of mine, and we're also responsible for providing support. Like, it's not like we say we know a lot, but because I've been in the industry for a very long time, I know a lot of the tools that could easily make a software development project be delivered easily and on time, and also scalable. Because you need to think about scalability as well. When your service is below and a lot of people are coming into it, how this thing's going to scale, automatically scaling, things like that. So yeah, so we lead this sort of work every single day, doing things like what we call peer reviews, code reviews, doing one-to-one with the junior members of the team, and also some senior members of the team as well. Just just provide general support. And sometimes when they get stuck in specific areas, we go in there as well and see how we can help and support them, just to unblock anything that could be blocking them for the delivery.
Wow. So how did you get into software engineering then?
Oh, well, many years ago. So, well, first of all, I studied computer science in school.
Okay.
And that's in London here. I studied computer science. So that already gave me an understanding of what the potential is going to be for software development. Now, when I studied computer science, I was exposed to many aspects of the IT world, from hardware to networking to software. And for me, I just sort of clicked with software because that's something, although it's intangible, but I could understand it. I know what it is to write code, right? I know what it is to compile your code. I know what it is to, it's a beautiful feeling when you actually see your product being delivered and a lot of people start using it. That's a wonderful feeling. So I really enjoy that, So that's why I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go into software development and software engineering. Just keep on.
Wow. I love that. You see, the way you talk about it it sounds so interesting. If I was not in health and safety, I'm sure I would have come to software development. Because this is really good. Because the future is in that space now.
Absolutely.
The future is in that space. So many things happening right now. Biotechnology, treatments of gene. Sometimes when I read about some companies and see what you guys do, I just love it. How can somebody be sick of an illness and then there is a code that is able to remove that gene from, I'm thinking, man, what's going on with the world?
That's it.
Oh my God. Wow. So what do you love about what you do? About your job? What exactly do you love about the job?
Yeah. So one thing I love about my job is the fact that you get a chance to be able to create something which doesn't exist, right? Because any software project which we get delivered or a proposal we get to our table, first of all, is a challenge, right? Because a lot of times nothing like that has been done before. Although there are tools, or maybe it has been done before, but not to you, not by you, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that is quite challenging at the same time as quite engaging. So it's that engagement itself that really excites me, and the fact that when we get something delivered and see the way that software itself has the potential to change lives, that's something that really, really gives me joy. Take, for instance, now this pandemic, right? The COVID-19 pandemic. Think how many people have actually, because of Zoom, have been able to keep their business running for free. I know there are many, many services out there, but Zoom has an excellent delivery of, video communications and things like that. It is so easy to get set up with Zoom. It is so easy to log on to everything. And also they give you, I think it's about 60 minutes for free to use. To some companies, that's more than enough, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to start subscribing to any sort of third-party services and things like that. I know Google offers their own as well, but I mean, just really thinking of companies out there doing or creating product which changes lives, or which has the opportunity to change the lives of millions out there, is something that is really, really engaging. And also as well, software is highly, highly scalable. It is extremely scalable. You can have a software product which is localized for a specific region of a country or of the planet. For example, let's say you develop a software product for Chinese, right, for the Chinese market, and everything, all the interface is in Chinese, and all of a sudden the software starts doing well. A lot of people start using it. You could easily skim that. You could easily localize that for English or German or any other globe, right, without even paying that much money, because you're not rewriting the code, you're just localizing it, doing some changes and stuff, and it's only going to cost you scaling up of your backend of your servers, and that's a good problem to have, right? When you have a lot of people coming into it, you want everyone to start talking about it, everyone to start using it. So I mean, it's just a wonderful piece of invention, really.
Yeah. I know. Now, I'm not going to bring that, maybe because you signed an NDA concerning some projects, but I know you were involved in a project then some years back that over 1 million people were using. I know of that one. And is this something you want to talk about, or you don't want to talk about it? Okay.
No, let's leave that.
No, let's leave it. Because, when I saw your involvement in that project, I was really impressed. Very, very much impressed. Because not only was that project later, not only was it used as a communication project, people started selling things there, which is quite good. So it brings me to my next question. What skills do you need to become a software engineer?
Okay. So I'll answer the question. I'll give you two answers. Because of the first question, which has the difference about software engineer and programmer. So to be a software engineer, you need some sort of like grounding, right? Which means you need some level of knowledge. I don't necessarily mean formal knowledge, or like having a first degree or having a degree or whatever, right? You just need to have an analytical mindset, right? You could even be I find a lot of mathematicians actually bridge into the software engineering world. I have a friend now who was previously a biochemist. He's now a programmer, though not an engineer yet. Because, like I said before, a programmer could also function as a software engineer. But for that, you need to understand how a product lifecycle works, how to actually carry out feasibility studies, how to plan out what needs to be done, how to interact with other stakeholders in the business as well, from the managers to the developers to the testers and so on and so on. And you need to be able to communicate effectively, right? Now, I haven't said you need a formal qualification yet, because I've seen a lot of people attend things like boot camps, come out and they perform exceedingly well, right? Now, the second answer to this question would be, what skills you need to become a programmer? I've just answered it in the first one. Attend the boot camp, as easy as that. Attend a boot camp, a coding boot camp, right? If you attend a coding boot camp, what they generally do is they take you from a novice, from someone who doesn't understand, who doesn't know anything about writing code. You know nothing about it, right? So they take you from there and they teach you the basis from how to set up your computer. Because if you're going to work as a software programmer, you need the right environment, you need the right tool sets, right? So your obviously it's a computer, you need a laptop. They set it up for you. They teach you how to how to download the required software packages, the IDEs, the libraries, or any kind of dependencies that you need. So they take you from there and also teach you how to write your first line of code, depending on the language which you want to specialize in. Most times they teach you how to write the hello world code. We call it the hello world, which is like the first, line of code which you would write, which any programmer would write, really. So that's how you start. And when you become good as a software programmer, you understand how that language works. Then it becomes very easy to translate that into other languages as well, right? Now, if you're smart, you can start looking at the entire end-to-end system, not just focus on one aspect of the coding, but understand how all these systems interact with each other. That means you need to understand the backend, you need to understand the middleware, you need to know a bit of DevOps as well, right? You also need to know a bit of project management as well, because it is a lot, right? It doesn't mean you need to know everything 100%, but at least to have an understanding of how all these systems communicate with each other. That way, you become a good software engineer.
Oh my God. I feel like clapping for you. It's so nice, the way you just take it down. So in other words, I do not need a degree to become a software engineer.
Absolutely not.
Oh my God.
Absolutely
So,
not, you don't.
oh my God. Okay, now I know many of the people who are watching and those who are going to watch this will say, okay, how do I get the boot camp? Because of the COVID now, there might not be a physical boot camp, so everything can be done online. So whether you're in America, Nigeria, you can become a software engineer and then come into the country and get a better job.
Yes.
So is there any boot camp that you can, I mean, you might not be able to recommend one now, but you'll be able to like send me, then I can put it in the description box.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. In fact, as you're speaking, one just came to my mind now. There's a, what's it called again? Let me just check. Yeah, there's this company which funds a lot of startup called Y Combinator. They're quite big in the US. So
White comment.
No, Y Combinator, Y, like letter Y.
Y Combinator. Okay.
Yeah, right. So they fund a lot of startups and so on and so on. Now they've partnered with a school. I think they actually partnered, or maybe they funded this idea called
Okay.
Strive School.
Okay.
Strive School. So if you go to strive.school, I'm looking at my
Five
laptop here
school.
as I'm speaking to you, so I get the right domain. Yes,
Okay.
strive.school. Now,
Okay.
what they do, they teach you how to code, right?
Wow.
And they teach you how to code for free. Okay. Now,
Wow.
the contract is you don't have to pay them anything until you get a job.
Wow. Okay.
just imagine going to a restaurant and saying and the waiter say to you, anything you want to order. We're going to serve you. Eat as much as you want and only pay us if you like the food. So these guys, they teach you what you need to know about programming. They teach you
Okay.
like it's a hardcore boot camp, man. Really hardcore,
Okay.
and it's good. And you don't have to pay them anything. Because a lot of times, what puts a lot of people back is the amount that this boot camp charges. Because boot camp sometimes lasts for like a week, some 2 weeks, a month, or 3 months, as the case may be, and they cost quite a lot of money, right?
Okay.
Because they know it's something that once you go through the process successfully, you are most likely guaranteed to have a job. You're
Okay.
most like almost. I don't want to say 100% guaranteed, but you are going to get a job definitely,
Wow.
because the demand for the people with this skill set in this industry today is off the chart. It's just off the chart, literally. You know,
My
literally. There's no day that I don't get like 20 emails. I'm not exaggerating. I don't get like 20 emails from recruiters chasing me from LinkedIn and so on and so on, pitching different ideas and things like that. It's just a lot. So there's a huge demand, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you want to go into any industry, look for the demand. Is there a demand, and what is the projection? COVID has taught everyone now that there's a possibility of executing business, of conducting your business remotely, right?
Yeah.
So companies who are not equipped for that pre-COVID are looking for ways now to build those sort of systems. Where do you think they're going to go? They'll start looking for contractors or developers or agencies and so on, So the demand is just going to keep rising.
Oh my God. You used two words now, demand and having like a foresight of where you're going. Very important. Very, very important, because with the way the world is going, there are some jobs that are going to become obsolete very soon. In fact,
Absolutely.
not very soon, it's all gone. Because I did a video where I did a research about 600,000 people in the hospitality industry lost their job in UK. 600,000. So both
terrible.
the airline, the hotels, everyone gone. But not today. Let's go to the next one. What practical steps can someone take to become a software engineer or programmer? You've already said boot camp. You've given us so many things already.
Yeah, you can start with boot camp. We can Strive School, or there are many boot camps, but I would recommend Strive because Y Combinator is a good company. Another one, you can start on YouTube as well. There are lots of free videos on YouTube to teach you any sort of programming languages you want to learn. And you could buy books on Amazon or anywhere you get your books from, and just start reading. Knowledge is power in this industry, right? Knowledge is power, and the industry is so dynamic that what you know yesterday might become obsolete when you wake up this morning. Because there are new things, there are new technologies being invented. So you just need to keep getting knowledge as much as possible.
Wow, I've got some questions here, but I'm not going to ask that yet. Like CK Media has asked the question, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask those questions as we're getting now. But one other question, let's think back. You see, this question, the reason why I asked this next question is because when I went to train some students in a school in Harrow, in health and safety, one of the questions they asked me was this. They said, you think back, look at it, think back to when you were 17 years. What would be your advice to a 17 years old who is thinking of becoming a software engineer or a programmer?
The advice I will give my 17-year-old self is, number one, that is the right thinking to have, right?
Wow.
You want to be a software engineer or programmer in the world today. That's the right direction to go. Number two, don't be afraid of making mistakes, right? Now, it takes a lot of work to understand something which is completely abstract, right? Like I said, it's an intangible thing. You don't touch it, right? When they're talking about make the software do this, make the software do that, if this, if this, if this, if X, Y, Z conditions, right? For you just starting, maybe your brain hasn't made that mental connection yet to see the relationship between the abstract world of software and the real world today. Because okay, in software there's this programming terminology called object-oriented technology, where it sort of like models the real world interaction with objects in software, just to make us be to be able to think about software not more of an abstract thing but as a real thing per se, to an extent. So if you're just learning that, don't be discouraged if it doesn't click overnight. It could take some time, right? You will make mistakes, you'll learn. You could write code, your code will be very bad the first time. You make a lot of rookie mistakes and you just need to learn. You just need to keep going on, right? And also, don't just stop as a software programmer or an engineer. Look beyond that. See the business side of it as well, right? Start thinking about, okay, how can I? Because think about it, you are creating software for people, right? Now, those people, they've already done their own market analysis to understand what the need is for this software which they want to create. Okay, you can start thinking as well like a businessman, right? Start thinking about, okay, what sort of problems out there that my software could create. You could release open source software. You could be bought by a big tech company one day. You never know. Or you could create a software and still have your job. The software is generating a side income for you, and so on and so on. So think beyond just becoming a software engineer or software programmer. Think about the business side of it as well, and also look ahead and see how the world is moving. The world is moving into AI now, right?
Yeah.
Understand how to integrate AI in your common tasks and things like that. That's a topic for another day. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that there.
No, this is brilliant, because you see, just the way I spoke to those students, I said, always think of the business part of any job that you're involved in. Because if you don't understand sales, if you don't understand how to sell yourself, no matter the knowledge you have, you will not be able to negotiate it when it comes to the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the next question, why should a person not become a software engineer? Because if you look at this guy,
if you want,
the guy is tearing his head.
That's a clickbait, definitely.
The guy is tearing his head, he's almost pulling his head out. He's confused. So why should something?
Okay. So jokes apart, there are some people who may not be cut out for the software developer's life. For example, like I said, it could be quite difficult. Not everyone can handle that sort of stress, that sort of pressure, right? You could be working on a project now where the delivery schedule is so tight that you might need to put in longer hours. Not everyone could do that. Maybe for some people, because of family or other commitments which they have, they need to leave the office once it's 5 o'clock or 5:30, and maybe your team are still working behind trying to deliver these products, but you're just leaving, right? Now, if you don't understand how to negotiate or manage the sort of social interactions, it could become a problem. And a lot of people don't really like conflict. They may not necessarily want to go down this sort of route. And also, you could find yourself as well working a lot during weekends. Now, not everyone. For example, if you're married, not every partner would like that, right? Some partner might not understand that. Some partner be like, okay, once this Friday is done, shut your laptop. That's it. For a software developer, most times it's not like that, right? Because you find weekend the time you actually want to learn something new or finish a particular piece of work which you've been working on, and maybe something just clicked on the weekend and you need to write the code then. So this sort of things, you need to understand the dynamics. That look, these are the things you're definitely gonna face as a software engineer, and not everyone can handle this. Yeah, so this could be some of the reasons why you may not want to become a software engineer.
Okay, but based on the next question I'm going to ask, Let's see if that will convince somebody to say, okay, I want to become a software engineer. So, how much can a software engineer or programmer earn?
Ooh. They say, show me the money, huh? So, my experience, what I've seen so far in the industry is the earning potential for a software engineer or programmer go up and up and up, right? Now, there could be many things, causing that, but one major key factor to this is the demand. The demand just keeps rising, and the supply is very low, very, very low. I mean, it got to a point where during my career with different companies, most of the agencies we just know each other. So when they call, oh, okay. I mean, all the developers, we just form like a little community in London. We know each other. We know ourselves.
Wow.
To the extent there's no need to go for an interview because an agency calling you, they've already gotten your recommendation from someone they know, and they just offer you the role and things like that. So it's a very, very tight knit community in London here, and like I said, the demand is high and the supply is low. So the pay bracket is just showing up. So for a junior developer, for example, who just got into the industry, I mean, I could be wrong, but statistics show that you could earn. It depends on the aspect, though. But I'm just going to speak generally.
Yes.
Let's say anything from between 40 grand
Wow.
to maybe 50.
My
Right?
God.
Yeah, and you have senior developers earning from anything from uh, maybe 65 to 75,
Oh my God.
and like top developers who like leads and things like that, earning anywhere from 100 grand and above. That sort of
Oh my.
stuff.
I think that's
Yeah.
a good business to enter. That's a good industry. And the amazing thing is this: you don't require a degree to
No,
go for this
absolutely
course.
not.
What? I
Absolutely
don't.
not.
I don't think there's anything that can stop anybody from going for this training. That
No,
can
it's
go for
just
this.
it's just determination. Like I said, I mean, the school I pointed at now, Strigel School, they teach
Yeah.
you and they say, don't pay us anything until you get a job. So they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're actually giving you all the tool set to go get a job, right, in this industry. And when you get a job, then you can start paying them back whatever they've invested in you. I think that's
That's
a
okay.
win-win if you ask me. The
Yeah.
only thing that could stop anyone from getting to the industry is just the will, the drive, and maybe if you don't like it, then obviously you do something else.
Wow. Oh my God. There are some questions here. Oh my God. So advice to anyone out there. Just advice to anyone out there.
Yeah, yeah. What I advise is, if you have a dream to do something, I think you shouldn't let that dream die. Just keep going forward, keep going out there, keep pressing. I mean, life sometimes could make you take a different turn, but always have that picture in mind why you started what you started, right? That way you could always realign yourself to your original goal. Try as much as you can not to get distracted. There's so many new shiny things popping out on the internet here and there, make money this, this. No, but if you want to focus on your career, because think about it, your career is an investment, first of all, in yourself, right?
That's it.
An investment in yourself is the best investment. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, once you have that sorted out, that you can start looking for other ways of how to maybe expand or get a second income and doing any side or something. There's things like that. So invest in yourself first of all, and then take it on from there.
Wow. King, first of all, we've got some questions. I want to first of all say thank you so much. Now, just some quick questions here. Because, it's so interesting because I've got people who wants to get into this industry but don't know how. And now you've explained it. I will now make this video to a shorter one so that people can listen to it. But I have a
Yeah,
question here. TK Media said, Donald King, can a programmer be a developer?
absolutely. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. A
Wow.
programmer is a developer. Now, developer is a broader term, but when you say what sort of developer, is a front end developer or back end developer, all we do in this, in this category is just programming for using different languages and different tool sets, as the case may be. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, Inspirational by Marie asked one question. It says, so no hope for us. It seems she's a social worker. She says, so no hope for all social workers then within software engineering. How do you answer that?
Well, well, on the contrary, actually, I think if you look at the social workers themselves, I mean, that's a very, very key part of human activity, which is never ever going to go away. Because I mean, the sense that AI is coming in and taking over a lot of jobs from people, AI can't render that human touch, that human emotion when it comes to dealing with people, right? A computer is a computer. Although some AIs are really smart, but they're not going to be as good as a human when it comes to interaction or showing that emotional connection, when it comes to dealing with people. So I think there's still hope for social workers then.
Oh, that's beautiful. And one thing I want to say is this, when you have that desire, or that, just as you said now, that you are your most valuable asset, you can be working as a social worker and be taking all this training by the side.
Absolutely.
When you switch, because the thing is that you have money to pay for your training. When you switch over, you just moving. That's how it works. Yeah. Because sometimes when I get students coming in and I'm training them in changing careers, some of them come from very funny careers. Some of them could be healthcare assistants. Some of them have been nurses. I have a guy who came in as an investment banker. He wants to switch career. He's tired of just tell them something, just as you said, have the focus in your front. Where are you going? That will be your driving goal. That will be the driving desire that will keep moving you. But the good thing is about it is that when you have a career that you're already in, you can use that money from that career to facilitate, or and then your switching over is very easy. You don't really have, you don't have to pay anything. Wow. I don't know if there's any other person who have any question, and if you don't have any question, I want to say thank you so much, Donald King. Okay, it seems someone has come in with a message. Transferable skills. Okay. Regis Kitchen just said transferable skills now. Just the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to say thank you so much. No, like I said, I'm not going to let you go off the screen yet. Like I said, on this channel, what we do is this. We've got so many ethnic minority coming in to this country and everything. With the name Donald King, it looks like Donald King. Can you just tell us where you came from a little bit, where you're from? No, I know we're all from Zion, but
I'm from Nigeria. 100%, man.
Oh, that's good.
Born and raised in Nigeria.
That's it. So, so in other words, it is possible. Anyone can do it.
Yes.
Anyone can achieve anything. Absolutely. It's just getting the right contact and the right people. I want to say thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Is there any other thing you want us to know? But please, we'll need those information. I'll put them in the description box.
Yeah.
And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do now. Donald King is on YouTube. You want to hear him, subscribe to his channel, get to meet him, and let's be one. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. We took some time to get to this place, but don't forget, next week, I'm bringing in a coach who will be talking about how to manage stress using emotional intelligence. Bye, everyone, and take care. Thank you so much, Donald King. God bless you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.